Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces. Dobry wieczór. Witamy wszystkich na 445 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy czwartek, 4 marca 2021 rok, a tematem jest kolejny warsztat. Jest to tłumaczenie pierwszej części. Tak więc zapraszam do obejrzenia, wysłuchania. Jak ktoś będzie chciał zabrać głos na koniec warsztatu, to zapraszam również.
Nine complete. Good morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers of Keshe Foundation, series of teachings. We are, as Rick said, 369 non-stop teaching, little by little, adding to the bricks of the castle of the knowledge of mankind, not only about the creation on this planet, but beyond, and how we develop this technology to make the universe accessible to humanity. As the old say, if you can't take the camel to the mountain, you bring the mountain to the camel. So we tried for centuries to take man to become developed, to join the universal community, but this time we brought the mountain to Muhammad, as they say, to allow him to add to the knowledge to become part of the universal community. We waited long enough and mankind took too long to join. Now we gave it that helping hand to bring mankind in line with the rest of the knowledge of the universe. In the past week, we added a new technology. As you can see, the vertical enhancement unit is one of the cornerstones of man's survival in space. We, in the past, added what we call the other part of the set into this family. We had the enhancement unit where we changed the environment. We brought in the air purification, the same process for the universe, that man can be fed through the air what he needs, where man cannot be able to eat, to take food. And in the environment and breathing system, we feed man. This is important. This system, what is on the screen as an air purifier, is one of the most important parts of the transition of man into the man of space, where we gradually, using the lung and the digestion system of the man, will feed the man gradually to convert, to use the energy instead of material. Most probably, the tiniest of the three brothers, it'll be one of the most important parts of the transition of humanity to space. What does this mean? It means in the space, you do not need to take food. As part of the breathing system, to go through the transition of being able to use the organs, but at the same time to matter state partially, we allow man to breathe energy, take intake. And this will bring a new dimension into humanity and space travel. In so many ways, by introduction of the fourth member of this family, very soon to the Keshe Foundation, and then the fifth one, we complete what we call the Panja, the completion of what man needs. In a way, the enhancement unit, original enhancement, horizontal enhancement unit, we call it, was the beginning of introduction of technology. The introduction of the vertical enhancement unit, which is the breakthrough from humanity, was introduced last week. This is and will be used in conjunction with the horizontal. But this will bring a new dimension into the space travel. In this system, we will show you how many things can be done that is beyond the imagination of the man present. This is technology on the edge of its knowledge. And very soon we will see new development of this. There's a fourth member of this family, which Keshe Foundation will introduce initially to use the waters of this planet for conversion, and then convert that into the ocean of the fields of the universe. That man changes from matter state into using of the fields of the universe. Then the fifth member of this set, which will come most probably to the back end of this year, will be transportation and transmutation of the elements in being able to travel across this planet and beyond. This technology, which you see on the screen, is a major breakthrough and now has become part of the peace talks between Iran and 5+1. As many of you know, we have interacted and we have entered negotiation with Iran in 5+1 for the nuclear technology of Iran for peace. With this technology, we do not need nuclear. Iran will show its superiority in technology and make the nuclear talks of 5+1 irrelevant. We do not need what we do not need, and the knowledge is a knowledge. In a very short time, it will be very clear that the Keshe Foundation will take what we call position in respect to the transfer of technology to any other nation compared to what it is today in exchange for peace. As many of you know from the Sunday teaching, Keshe Foundation has got, and we are involved directly in the new peace talks, because the technology of the Keshe Foundation on the edge of science is a tool for peace, and we have given our backing that this technology to be used as has been by the Iranian leadership in exchange for peace. I have received authorization, and I look forward to see that this technology become part of the process. In this way, as we were involved initially in 5+1, now we enter 5+2. As I stated to the Americans and the Israelis officials in the past few days, 5+2 will be a new structure where the nation of Palestine, including Israel, the state of Israel, become the number 2 in the new series of negotiation. Knowledge and technology in exchange for peace between Iran, state of Israel, security for the state of Palestine, and at the same time opening up a dialogue between nations. This has been the brainchild of the Keshe Foundation, 5+2. And we have seen some positive moves that it can be done. It has to be understood there is no solution in the Middle East if we do not find a solution for the Palestinians and the Israelis. And it has to be all in fair condition. At the same time, we cannot lose more scientists of any structure due to animosities. Every scientist taken out of the circulation by killing or whatever becomes a damage for mankind in the knowledge of the future in the space. The new vertical enhancement unit is one of the most advanced technologies that in time as we deliver will be shown. Why we have entered into peace negotiation directly, as I said, to all the knowledge seekers, Keshe Foundation Television become a structure for peace, and I lead. And I would like you to follow the way we take steps in the peace negotiation. The development of the vertical enhancement unit will change many things in the space technology and in the present what we call health application and enhancement of the health of the mankind. But for us to transport and export this unit, an enhancement unit, to Keshe Foundation Arizona, we will bring in the most edge of the science and technology of Iran in the hand of the Americans. And this cannot be unless we achieve peace, and the bargain chip is space technology on the edge, plus and including Iranian space program in exchange for immediate withdrawal of the sanctions from Iranian nation and immediate peace talks between all nations at the same time. I have made my opinion and my view clearly to the Iranian officials, and we will see in the coming days and weeks how this will take shape. As I said, we are not listening to news. We are newsmakers, the way we made the 5+1 and the others. And in a way, thanks to many of you, we have brought the Keshe Foundation in a level that the world leaders consider it as a scientific force to be understood. At the same time, with the insight and the work of the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers in different sections of the Keshe Foundation, we have entered a new arena. In a way, up to now, we waited for the farmers to come and use the gas technology. In today's, what we call commercial section, you will see a new product. Keshe Foundation, with advice, support, and the work of the Keshe Foundation China, has entered into developing seeds from seed to product in Keshe Foundation. We have this opportunity to do, and with the advice of our team and the people who work around the Keshe Foundation, we have forward purchased 40 tons of cottons that we decide from the beginning, everything will be gas technology, and the harvest will be gas material, no fertilizers, no pesticides, and the end product will be purely harvest, which is made and through the process of Keshe Foundation with no chemicals. This is one of the things that in my trading time, in my time of business, always we saw the multinationals, they do that, they don't rely on the supply to be there one day. We have entered this, and in a way, we have decided to forward sell the product as a t-shirt and other things that you will see to come up. This gives us a new opportunity, and we look forward, if you have farms or you are farmers who would like to go into the spring and the growing time, we are prepared to negotiate. We buy the seed and we control the whole process to the harvest and fully be recorded. Entering into agricultural development is one of the major works of the Keshe Foundation. In the next 2 weeks, one of the most advanced systems of the Keshe Foundation in seeding, growing, and then feeding the material to the animals, and then at the same time looking after the animals through the Keshe Foundation technology will take shape in Europe, which means not only we control the seed growth, we control the what we call animal husbandry in the animals of a big herd, about 2,500 pigs. This is important for us, that now we start setting a structure, and then we go to the next step. The food chain is where we change the emotion of the man and the physicality of the man, that the man does not get sick, that the man stays calm, man stays collective, and through psychological calmness, it brings physical calmness. I can tell you this firsthand. For years, I suffered continuously from one disease to another. Been introduced or enforced through emotion, could not finish. As I said, I have found peace, I have found happiness, I have found calm in my life. And for the past 6 months, I have known no illness, no sickness, which is very unusual. Past 30 years, it became one to another. And in 6 months, I don't even know what the tablets are. And even repairing the damage which done before using the gas technology. You will see slowly what we have gained in knowledge will be passed on to you. In today's commercial section, as you might have been on the Keshe Foundation website, a new product which we promised you some weeks ago is introduced and will be delivered. These are additives to paint, where you add these additives to the paint when you paint the house. For example, additive for plasma enhancement, where you can mix 1 and 2 together on different walls of the house or in the room, and you make sure that the energy packs will never enter. In a way, as we describe and explain what energy packs in the space are considered as, now we have put this material into the market. And this allows you in a way, even to paint your car with it, even to, in so many ways, paint everything in the house as addition into the paint, just one wall, one picture, and make sure that you can, in a way, change the balance energies which might be in the house or in your place of work that can lead to attraction of many plasmatic energies which can be harmful to the plants or to the furniture or anything else. In so many ways, you will see the introduction of the second batch of paints, which will allow you to create what we call the negative oxygen level in conjunction with the gas technology and the plasma technology. These have been tested by Keshe Foundation on the long term in China, and now we have brought the technology into Europe. The people who we work with have already commercialized it in China, but not in the way we do, because they do not understand the technology. A small part of it is used now by the Chinese National Army in their camps, which gives the soldiers confidence, gives the soldiers different emotional feeling. As I said, 2021 is the year of the confirmation and delivery of the technology by the Keshe Foundation. And in the next couple of weeks, we'll introduce more products, more materials, as we did last week with the introduction of this beautiful enhancement unit and the introduction of the cups and plant pots and the soup bowl. In the next series of products, Keshe Foundation in the coming time will introduce what we call the pain cups and inflammation cups, where we introduce field strength that can in a way help you with pain. These are not pharmaceutical products. These are natural products that our ancestors have used for centuries. In so many ways, now we enter not only to teaching the Keshe Foundation, but to show how to use it. In a very short time, Keshe Foundation energy magnet systems could be introduced back in for what we call use. In a way, the generator will be coming back on card. One of the reasons we are negotiating with the Americans and 5+1 is that the generator will be part of the enhancement units and will change the structure of the economy. On the other hand, we will see a new flight system to be introduced by Keshe Foundation, which again changes the position of the borders, where we can travel even with a car across the border and no custom officer can see us entering. Creation of the field barriers of the vision is one of the simplest things that can be achieved through the new plasma technology. 1 second you are there, and then you decide a second not to be there. These are the structures which, as always, in advance I warn and I explain, and then we introduce. In the coming weeks, we deliver cups that you will use as a water to disinfect the waters you come across. You go to the river, take a cup of the water from the river, give it a few seconds, you can drink it. Does not matter what it is in it. In the coming time, we'll introduce what we call cup of radiation. As a nuclear physicist, I developed this a long time ago. Now I introduce into the structure of the new ceramic and products of Keshe Foundation, where we tested this in Fukushima in a very direct way, and now we produce it as a cup. every man can hold a cup at home, that in case of the radiation accident, or you go to X-rays, or you get what we call different kind of radiation to your body, you can immediately reduce it. In so many ways, this is part of the need of the society. As many of you know, I'm a great supporter of chemotherapy, because I know chemotherapy helps to reduce or alleviate the cancer cells, but through its structure delivers a higher energy that damages the body of the man in so many ways. In killing the cell of the cancer, it kills many others. With a new cup of what we call to alleviate the side effect of the chemotherapy, we will show that there is a solution. As I said, we are not the only solution for what we say. We have to use the knowledge of mankind, build on it. What is positive, we support to become better, and what is negative, we look into the technology of the Keshe Foundation in how we can make it positive. Not everything is bad. Not everything in Keshe Foundation is the only solution. But in a way, we look into the details of how it can be changed, how it can be improved, that will be built on the knowledge of other scientists. This is important to all of us, that we don't become arrogant to think we are the only thing and the rest of it. You got to understand, in so many ways, mankind has to be ready for the change, and the change will come in the steps. In so many ways, what I see and where I stand, the introduction of the new technology through the Keshe Foundation television will become a very sweet time, where we bring most of the nations to learn firsthand from their leaders to man on the street at the same time, what the new technology brings and what is the new opportunity. This makes the work of the Universal Council members and other members of the Keshe Foundation piece very simple. It brings you the condition of comfort. It brings you the condition that you know what you work for and what you believed in. Now start paying peace dividend. This is important for all of us, and I hope many of us will take this banner and will start moving. I had a pleasure time with the American counterparts and the Israelis in the past week, in meeting with them, in trying to negotiate peace between Iran and different nations. As a scientist, I have that privilege that I'm allowed to speak, even though I'm Iranian and an Iranian nuclear physicist. You got to understand, the nations of the world respect science and technology, and when the science and technology is used the correct way, the way we as knowledge seekers set out to do. And I invite you to be the witness to the biggest changes that our technology brings to our lives, to elevate our souls and everything else possible. There is one thing I warn the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers. In being victorious, in trying to help and take man into space, we create many enemies, because many people would not like to see the change, as they make a lot of money or a lot of self-satisfaction, and in so many ways attack us. Character assassination, Keshe Foundation Organization Association, and everything else. They even make you to doubt your own belief. A man should stay strong and carry on with what he believes, and is done, as the enemies of the man sit within the structure of the soul of those who are the enemies by soul. You got to understand, we are at the point and the verge of a change, not only for Keshe Foundation, but worldwide. Not only for one thing that we believe in, but economical change And a new protocol change will bring many changes and many turmoils. But this time change has to be positive, not to lead us to another war, not to lead us to another them and us. The Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers should work in one way, to be us in all the way down the road. In my negotiation with the American counterparts on Monday, I explained to them very easily. As long as I'm on this side and you're on that side, doesn't work. You choose. We come to your side or you come to our side. We look at everything together where to become positive. And in a way, that's the only way we can do it. As I informed my Iranian government officials on my return from the negotiation, we are opening the door to dialogue with Israel. And I will head that directly on behalf of Iran. There is a lot of positive and a lot of negative with it, but the positive is much more beneficial to all of us, and to bringing back peace and stability across Middle East and other nations. The beauty of it is that as knowledge seekers, we have to continuously introduce the new change as a build-up to another step. As I said, very soon, when the enhancement units, vertical, horizontal, the air, the water, and the travel system is introduced, it forces us to look fresh. It forces us to develop new technologies, new cities, new communication systems that builds on what we have, what we understood up to now, and change it to a plasma and see if it works, and then offer it to our nations to be able to take the change on board. There is many problems with what you call all these 5G and G5 and all sorts of the Gs which are going on at the moment. Keshe Foundation in a coming time, as a part of series of products, will introduce a technology that allows the G5 positive applications in high-speed transportation of the information to take place, but will not harm any person. These new products will be introduced in a very rapid way. In the next series of the products which you will see across Keshe Foundation, the first series of these, which many of you have been taught how to make, with a new twist for G5, will be introduced, which means your mobile phone and the users of the mobile phone will be benefit by the G5, but will not harm the body of the man. These are part of the technologies that we need to adapt ourselves to understand and use, but allow the advanced technologies to be applicable for us to receive and live a better life. As I said, many of us will see the benefit, but my hope is that knowledge seekers, Universal Council members, and the other Keshe Foundation supporters and the people who sit in the background will bring us the beauty of the technology as we look forward and as we move forward to the next step. As you know, on the 20th of March, Keshe Foundation Television will come into operation. And everything is ready for it. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock, the new, what we call management team of the Keshe Foundation, which is all of you on your national languages, will attend the first meeting, and then we divide into the section of the news and the rest. And for the first time on the board of the management of the Keshe Foundation team will be Belgians. We welcome the members of the Keshe Foundation Belgium team, and at the same time, in a very short while, we open the switch, we close on 0032, which was a Belgium supporters of Keshe Foundation to be able to enter back into the rank of the Keshe Foundation. Now that we have sorted our position with Belgium, with all the problems, and then now it's time to allow them to come again in a controlled way, but at the same time protect all the assets of the Keshe Foundation, be it its knowledge seekers, be it its technology and the rest, from the hand of those who abuse the technology and still try to abuse it. The thing is, we pray for their soul and we hope those will elevate. As I said, we build on the positive, and I personally welcome the Belgian teams who's back on the board of the, what I call managers of the Keshe Foundation teaching, and the news and the Keshe Foundation TV to our rank. And I know, as we had so much support from the Belgians, we build on it. And in a way, now we work as one nation, one race, and one planet. In so many ways, we have to understand what this new technology brings us. And before the beginning of the teaching, Rick explained something, that there is something going on outside the Keshe Foundation. And I asked him to bring it in and let's talk and understand what is the news, what is there for us to understand, and how we can look at it from the Keshe Foundation point of view and where we are compared to what they want to. And you will see the difference, how far apart we are from the present scientists outside the Keshe Foundation. Rick, would you like to come in and explain, please?
Sure, yes, Mr. Keshe. I'll put up a website. I was struck by the statistics. The Chinese, have a lot of submarines and a lot of weapons and a lot of stuff, and they're rapidly expanding economy compared to the US and so on and so forth. So yeah, there's a lot there.
So are we entering this competition as a Keshe Foundation Canada?
Well, I would like to do that, Mr. Keshe.
You submit the application form. You are the director of the Keshe Foundation Canada. And as we're opening the Enhancement Center in Canada and we are part of it, we submit a no food condition that they can put their astronauts and they see they never feel hungry. But you got to understand, there's a huge question mark about deep space travel. It's how many times we can feed the same food to the astronauts. If you're on a 700-day mission to Mars, according to what NASA is planning for 2030, minimum 700 days, how many different foods can we give them? What variation?
That's the exact problem that they delineate in this, is how do you make the food? One of the criteria is making it palatable, making it have a good texture and flavor and smell and so on. So it reminds them at least of what they've been used to. But maybe we can condition or train the astronaut. I mean, they take years of training anyway. Maybe we can train them to learn to like the Gans water as much as a full-on meal, and actually enjoy it and get the not only nutrition but the emotional
what about if they run out of water? What are we going to do? No food, because there is no water.
Then you do the training without the water part, and you use up the GANs in your body, and then you don't have a body, and then you go into the advanced soul training at that point. Can you come back? That's another story. I don't
Sorry,
know.
yeah. If you don't run out of the fuel, get the what we call the trajectory right to come towards the Earth, and the Earth is not a few kilometers further than you are, and you're back another 700 days till you get to the next trip back in.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems for NASA at the moment is with the human excursions of long term, how they could get the trajectory to come back, and if they miss it, what's going to happen? And if the food is arranged for 700 days, what happened now is 900 days till they can return back to the trajectory to come back in. And on the other hand, what is going to be the next step? How are we going to create continuous oxygen and water? And in so many ways, this itself leads us to the reality that we have to come up with a technology which has no matter state, and the conversion happens within the body of the man. You have, at the moment, we see astronauts flooding the space around the Earth with many of bags and bags of their waste. Every time they throw it out, and hopefully atmosphere will burn it out. In going to space and we leave these little things everywhere around the universe, what's going to happen? Isn't it the way we look at it as we have gone to the next steps of the development of the science and technology? Earth absorbs so much energies from the space of the solar system, but we don't see Earth throwing bags out of itself every few hours from the waste it has used the energy for. The body of the planet Earth converts energies to other things. In a way, the extension and expansion of the surface of the Earth and other materials with the Earth is that waste which Earth creates and uses it. Earth is like us, like our human body. The way we take food to sustain life, Earth continuously absorbs energy from the environment of the solar system, from the environment of the cosmos, but it doesn't throw out waste bags. It converts what the energy doesn't need to the matter and the materials and the conditions and creation of dimensions on its surface and inside and its dominion. This is what the space agencies have to learn. When we go into the enhancement units, by the person going into the system, like a horizontal enhancement unit or a vertical enhancement unit, or live within the dimension of the spaceship, he has to be able to give back the energies it doesn't need, but not in little bags and the waste. The way the Earth does, allow the energy be taken out, that allows the life to carry on, but no waste. We know how to do this. As a knowledge seekers, you should be able to teach the NASA scientists one simple thing. You've seen it in the process you have used, cup number 1 and cup number 2, to take the energy which the body of man doesn't need from the viruses and from energy packs from your body out. So the solution for mankind is very simple. We have already shown the extraction of the energy from the body of the man in hundreds of thousands of cases in the past year, with the establishment of cup of life and what we've seen with the package of energies which run. So for us as knowledge seeker, it's not a mystery, but for NASA scientists, it is a big hurdle. At the same time, we have seen how we can feed ourselves through energy packs. That what goes in, the body takes, and then we create a condition like the waters of the cup of life to extract it. Do we need to create waste? Do we need to look into how to get rid of the waste? But at the same time, do we need to extend our knowledge to understand what we can take, the way we can take from the environment. The reality of the knowledge is that what we call creation of the fields, new dimensions of the fields, brings back many, many positive things. In a way, by creating a two-way system in the spaceship or in the system, that one, you create a higher order fields energies compared to the body of the man that the man absorbs, and at the same time facilitate a lower space energies that the body of the man dispose of it. In a way, we can do this very simply in the spaceships. Certain hours the body gets fed, and certain hours opposite fields are created that the body rejects what it needs. It's the way we do regularly, morning or afternoon or whatever, we get rid of the waste. So we can develop these technologies. Now we have the knowledge. But the only thing comes when the man becomes a man of deep space. What are children of space who remember the taste, who remember what the food is, or they are used to live a happy life, never think of food, and never think of how to get rid of the extra energies they have, and then we see how it works. We can be man of space for long term. We do not need to make cabbages and make food for man to take. We make energy packs, a composition of energies that allows every cell of the man to receive what it needs. In so many ways, when mankind become part of the universal community, and as we lose our mouth in our digestion systems, as we use energies, would we think of eating another species in the universe because we don't have the mouth? Would the essence of killing ever comes to access it? And would we use the mouth just to tell we love them? Because it ends nowhere, but only carries the direction of emotion of the verbal communication to those who can understand our verbal communication. But all these pictures we see, collective variety of the foods from all over the world, every corner of this planet, from ocean to the air and the rest of it, would these become a memory of the past, when the man was primitive, when man killed to access energy? This is what the new space technology means. I was talking to gentlemen who building a new space city, and I explained to them very simple. If you build a new space city, it has to be all according to the space, not half mankind, half eating and the rest of it. It's the responsibility of those who build the new cities to be able to send these energy packs across the city, that nobody feels hungry, that no one ever kills. Is there a need to enter food? If we think about the strawberry, in the emotion of creating that, we receive that field, if we crave for it. The position of the new space cities that many governments are planning to build, it cannot be all bricks and something fancy. It has to be on the new structure of the Keshe Foundation work, that we don't need cars. So do we accept the CO2 what we call the pollution from outside the city, which is in the atmosphere of the planet, into our city? Or do we build structures, systems that absorbs any CO2 or any damaged fields over the city? How do we clean up the waters through the, not chemicals, but understanding of the new plasma technology? Building of the new space cities, which now is ongoing in China in agreements with the Chinese authorities, which we signed last January when I was there. And now they say they have moved it to another position city. And other nations has to be on the true basis of life in the space. We have to create a life condition on this planet that we show we can sustain life and see how the people change, that then we can apply it in a space. The biggest problem for mankind will not be food. The biggest problem for mankind to go through this process is acceptance of not killing. Not to kill, to consume. Not to eat, to consume energy, to convert. Where we are happy to absorb energies as we need from the environment of the buildings and streets we walk through, that we don't even think of food, because we only think of food when we are hungry or we have a desire. And then in simple ways, even if you think of a banana, instead of going to supermarket and buying a banana, or we think of a kebab or whatever and going and buying another part of an animal, we buy energy packs that gives us that emotion, satisfies our emotion, satisfies our feeling and need. Or we create conditions on these enhancement units that when you press, you want, let's say, fish and chips. It gives you the emotion, the wavelength, the strength of the plasma of that. And you say, oh, that was beautiful. It needs a little bit of salt, and it gets the salt. Because you satisfy the emotion. This is not the theory anymore. This is the fact that you will see and understand by using the new space technology. In so many ways, we all are entering an unknown territory. And in so many ways, as I said to the Americans on Monday meeting, I'm bringing the most advanced technology to your nation that brings your space technology forward by 50 years. We already own the premises as Keshe Foundation in Arizona. You tell me how you give me the guarantees that bringing technology from the Iranian source to America, we can work together to make a better life for all of us. In a way, we bring the technology, but we don't say we have all of it. We need the collaboration of American space, Canadians and the rest, and the Chinese. One of the biggest problems with us as knowledge seekers is to convince our leaders that the time of wasting time and money and effort and energy on creating weapons and division between nations has to come to an end. When I walked into the Israelis team, they were shocked how an Iranian senior nuclear physicist enters in their premises with such a conviction for peace. They were shaking because they could not believe. They were in their tethers. Most probably Netanyahu was told, Keshe is in the embassy, Keshe is in the negotiation table. This shakes them because we have the knowledge. We understand, we possess the technology which can bring that change. When we put a hand of peace out, when we sit with the enemies and we show them the way to find solution for them to be better, everything breaks. A hunger, lack of medicine, lack of water. If we use this technology, would it be that bad? When we use this technology, would we all not change? Or do we have a fear that the knowledge in converting energies of the universe, which all of you knowledge seekers should have by now, is what is the next process? What are we going to do? Sit at home, no work, and know that we receive everything we need? In the next batches of the technology development, the way we gave you the what we call the paint additives, we give you paint additives that you do not need to eat. It gives you a spectrum of the fields of the emotion of the soul that you will satisfy. You never feel hungry. Step by step, I eradicate the hunger from this planet. You walk into the building which is painted with food, energy. Do you need to eat? And with the same process, elevates your soul, elevates your emotion. Do you think the guy across the table is the enemy? Or everybody's friend, and you build everything on those bases? The time for conflict and the time for man's emotion to move has started. As you know, it took a lot of battles with the Belgians for years because they continuously kept me on the edge deliberately. And now with the peace, we have invited the Belgians back on the table because we found out how false everything was falsified on top of us to accept and then irritate to create a position of whatever it was. It takes elevation of the soul of the man for the man to understand how the system works and how to be developed. In many ways, the new space technology does not need food to think, to take. It needs the food of peace for the man to create new systems that in so many ways creates new condition for man in a space. You don't go to the supermarket to buy a cabbage. You buy the program which gives you the taste and the feeling when you put it in your machine, or when you receive a package and when you go to an environment. I would like to have a steak without the animal, but the emotion and pleasures of feeling the emotion. But do I need that emotion to feel I'm chewing something else? Or I walk away with that emotion and just receive the energies what my body needs for enhancements of itself? The new space technology will bring new dilemmas for mankind, because we will question every step. We will question everything we do, what our ancestors have done, and what we can accept. I like to have a steak, but I know the steak has the emotion of animal. Do I want that emotion because it's not in me? Would I want to eat another steak? Have that feeling of eating another steak, consuming another animal? In a way, we become plasma size. We become to understand the work of the plasma within the structure of our body. The GANS technology in transferring of this knowledge is a stepping stone for all of us. In so many ways, we have to develop new technologies, understand the new interaction of the fields, that mankind does not matter to be on the space or not, does not put such advertising, good food for everyone on earth and beyond. we have the energy, we have a good will, we do not need a good food. We understand that every food which our body is needed as an energy pack is good for us because we don't kill, we don't destroy. If you look at the present lifestyle of man, we continuously kill. From the banana we eat, it's the structure of amino acid of life. From the fish and chips we eat, another life, two of them, the chips and the fish. And how many other lives have been used to create the fat and the rest of it. And when we come to understand this, is mankind, does mankind need to take the title of food ever with itself into space? Food is the habit of the man in a dimension of physicality. And this will be very hard for many of the present generation to accept, to take the word food out of the circulation. Because we don't need to be fed. Our body will take what it needs and is available for it. As it loses its energy, it becomes weaker to its level, so it takes from its environment. And then when it wants to change, does it change the way it does the cell of the man every 28 days? In this process, the human blood, if it stays with us, might last years before it changes, because now the depletion is not there. Would we have blood? Would we carry the blood in our veins, or would we carry the new plasma of the conversion? As maybe the carbon level of our amino acid in one point of the universe is equal to its environment, or it's stronger, will be absorbed as a virus. The man knowledge has to change, and these teachings are part of it. And we have the technologies which we can show. As I explained to our American colleagues in the negotiation on Monday, you have a bullet inside you, I can take it out with a vertical system without you ever knowing and give it to you. Was it worth to be shot? Now we have the knowledge. We have the technology to do so. When you stand in front of the what we call international politicians and diplomats in the embassies and in their government positions, the way we done in past week, you see the shiver and shake in their blood, in their faces, that how wonderful they become just by development of the new technology. In so many ways, as I said to them, it's like the castles you build because arrows couldn't cross it. But now you have the crafts and helicopters penetrable in seconds. And your knowledge and technology of nuclear is like those arrows. And the castle doesn't exist because man has become equal. In heading the peace negotiation on behalf of Iran, we will strive for the mankind to understand the change and to show the change. And we have the technology to. The time of transition will be there, but the world governments have to understand there is a time for peace through technology and knowledge. When you have no one hunger, when we can use the American drones instead of spying over and taking pictures, the drones stand over the cities where there is a disaster and they radiate fields that everything the man below needs can be absorbed by their body. No one in an earthquake can die of hunger or thirst or lack of medicine. This is the way we convert the tools of war to the tools of peace. We can use the same drones, but to elevate the soul of the animals that in the drought, in the Sahara Desert, or in the jungles of Africa, no elephant dies. It's the responsibility of the man to take this step with the new knowledge which we have. And do we need food? This is what I said, and I keep on emphasizing, and it's a job of all knowledge seekers to understand the technology and to spread the knowledge. And in so many ways, we look at what we have and how we can use it, and how advantageous will be. We cannot stop what we call natural disasters, but we can develop the technologies that can support to alleviate the pain of the man, the animals, and the rest in such a position. When we have access to transmutation of the elements in the essence of the transmutation of energy, if you have a child 10 meter, 20 meter below the surface of the earth, trapped in the building, can we transmute the child from what are called depths of this planet out through his soul and physicality in the arm of the parents? Yes, it can be done. This is the way the Keshe Foundation, the new technology, will deliver children, where the child cannot go through the path and the passage of the birth tunnel. These are not dreams anymore. These are the realities. And as I said, when humanity understands, when humanity becomes mature enough, then we can change the tool of war to tool of peace, to tools that we have the knowledge. One day, I hope very soon, not only the knowledge seekers, but the humanity understands the power of the system. The vertical enhancement system and its combinations and variation will open a new dimension to all of us, where we change the energies, where we exchange the energies, where when you're hungry, by going in between it, will change what the hunger is to satisfaction of the energy. The biggest problem for man will be, would we need to sleep? And what are we going to do with 24 hours awakeness for days and centuries as we become travel of the universe? The biggest question for mankind will be, does anyone in the universe sleep? Or do we have the old tradition of the mankind, which was no weekends and no holidays, and people worked every day of the year, and we celebrated if they gave us one day off, that day was special, we could have one day off. If you have traveled to the Caribbean, to Nassau, to Bahamas, which is supposed to be paradise of the world, has been the biggest prison for man. If you go to Bahamas, you go on the Christmas Eve, they have what they call a jump canoe, which means they fought with what we call colonists to have one day of the year, the day of Christmas. One day. They worked the rest of the year non-stop. There was no Saturday and Sunday. Would we have to fight this position in space that one day we can sleep, one day we can have off, or we learn the process of the development of the life and creation in the world of the Creator? Many things for us will change. But in the past, when the promise was given, it taken centuries to do. Now with the new technology, we deliver direct. In a way, we share the knowledge. Now, who wants to enter negotiation with NASA and tell them you don't need any food and we don't need anything, can we have the 500,000 please? I think that's a job of Rick. And in so many ways, would the Canadians understand the change? The beauty, the way we have run the Keshe Foundation is very simple. We gave the key of technology to every nation. Then we gave the key to all of you, the patterns and everything else. But reading a pattern does not mean understanding it. In understanding it does not mean that you can develop it and deliver it. It needs a master to teach and develop, and we are all becoming the masters of it. To teach the rest of the humanity how to make these systems, how to move away from the position of danger. There is one point that knowledge seekers have to understand. Never work to change the course of the nature. Does not matter on the earth or beyond. Nature is the process of the life of a planet. Does not matter where or the universe, that it has accommodated itself to survive. Once you go into the process of changing the nature, you have started becoming that killing machine. Not just because you think it's good to change the nature, it'll be good. But when you change one position of the nature, the others have to compensate. The others will create problem for the others. Be the users of the beauty of the creation wherever you are, wherever mankind or other passengers of the universe travel to. Enjoy the variety, enjoy the beauty. Don't go, I want to make the oasis of earth on this planet or in this area, because by doing it, you can create others. Carry the oasis of the planet earth in your soul, in your memory, and replicate it and enjoy it in the depth of its existence, like every other person does in the universe. Mankind has to learn a lot. Feeding a body of the man doesn't need a competition where you have already lost. If you remember in one of the old movies, bunch of guys come and pull a big sword to kill a guy, 10 to 1, 20 to 1, and the guy just pulls one gun out, and then they understand. This is the way it is. We have a new technology and a new gun of peace, and this is what we have to deliver. And then we have to understand how we transfer and transform the energies and the applications of it in the world of creation. In so many ways, we love every one of us, and we love every one of you. Now, who would like to say to NASA, sorry boys, we have won the game. The same as the guy with a gun and 10 swords. Let others come with the fertilizers and whatever, and the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers deliver technologies which uses the fields of the universe and does the same. Isn't this the best way to start what we call the television channel for the American, what we call news guys of the TV, and the Canadians to win the competition, hands down? At least it brings the first, what we call peace dividend to the television to develop more. This is how we should be, and how we deliver the technology, to deliver the understanding of it. We have delivered to you in the past 2-3 weeks a new revolution, an evolution in science, in what you are used to. And in the coming time, we'll deliver more and more. But in understanding it and applying it is different than just using it. Many of us will never understand how things are done. Many of us does not understand how we can use the knowledge in its best capabilities and power. In so many ways, the new knowledge, the new technology has to become part of the understanding of the what we call peace process for all of us. and for our nations and leaders and in every dimension. Be aware, as we bring the Keshe Foundation into public in a different way, we'll create more people who want to know. Concentrate to teach. Forget about those who want to damage or they create what we call mayhem, because that's their job. For them, for people to question their own integrity, not for us to prove the technology. Because we have to deliver one thing, the elevation of the soul of the man, the elevation of the emotion of the man. And the rest is for them to find peace and judgment of the technology and development of the technology. In so many ways, we can say to NASA, all of us, Keshe Foundation would like to check for 500,000 before beginning of it, or exclude us because it shows you're still in what we call caveman time age. In so many ways, the new enhancement vertical units, the new paints addition which will be introduced, will give you most of these. We can create the addition to the paint that keeps you all happy. We can keep the paint that it keeps you feeling no pain. If you have an inflammation, you don't feel it and it will not be there. We'll see the people with all sorts of crippleness walking without. These are not theories. In the next few weeks, we'll introduce these as cups. We started as cup of life. Now, last week you've seen the cup of sugar, the cup of pressure, and every other things that gradually we make one cup that covers, become the true cup of life. But step by step, we have to teach that you understand and you develop. Now, how do we tell NASA, sorry boys, you're 50 years behind? Or we let them carry on with giving prizes when the prize is already won by the knowledge of the man? Mr. Kravit, which way are we going to go?
Well, I think we should do two offers in a way, the physicality method and then the more advanced method, let's say. There should be,
soul of the man.
We need to give them an option of currently the astronauts and those that go to space, they need something to remind them of the physicality food, because that's what they're used to. So until we get them trained into a new type of technology that they get their sustenance and their emotional support they feel they need, that they get from the food, then I think that should be part of the astronaut training, rather than the physicality training they put them through and all these other hoops. Perhaps they should be trained how to go without food for extended periods of time and live on the fields. That could be an important part of the new type of astronaut training that could happen, perhaps.
Maybe we need not to mention food and keep them busy enough that they don't think about the food.
Yeah, well,
when we tell them this is a food station, they go in it because they feel they're hungry, but they're not really. And you just go there, they think they receive something. In early 2000, when Washington University scientists with a commission from NASA were looking to stop the radiation fields into the eye of the astronauts so they could see the flashes that we explained many times before, By introducing the new nanomaterials of the Keshe Foundation, we blocked most of it. Can we produce nanomaterials that absorbs the energy of the universe into the system of the, let's say, space lab? And by being stronger and of full strength, the passengers receive it back as food, where the structure, physical structure of the space lab becomes the absorption of the fields of the need of the man. And at the same time, we can create a weaker point within the center of the structure, which takes what the man doesn't need. In a way, we make man like that bullet in the body of the man, where we take the bullet out, where we take the energies of the plasma and the viruses out. Man will take what it needs in transformation of the energy from the body of the craft to the center, and in a way will live in the wind of the fields of the universe. We take what we need, and what we do not need passes through us. Isn't this how neutrinos work? They pass through us billions of times every day, but we don't know, and maybe we take part of their energy as we need. As their strength in the interaction of the body of the man becomes, in a way, a split to the strength that we need.
Sounds good. There's also the idea of like CO2 buildup in space. People are breathing out, presumably still breathing at that time. And the CO2 builds up, so they have to scrub it out of the atmosphere. Well, what you're saying is if you have this central sink area that absorbs the atmospheric CO2 and produces useful items out of it at the same time, food, energy, and so on. What a perfect system to have.
Further.
Mm-hmm.
But go a step further. Why do we breathe? Why do we take oxygen? Air, not oxygen. To transfer its energy to what we need for our blood. If we transfer energy through the body, do we need to breathe? Do we need to create the CO2? Is there something in the new space technology we ever worry about?
Well, that's another big step. It's one thing to become a breatharian, but then to give up being breatharian, that's another big step. So yeah, that's how do we can't just tell NASA tomorrow, well, we have a plan to send astronauts to space with no food and no air.
I think we can show it if we, with the way we've done before, we have shown it in plants. We can show confinements where we put a plant and it absorbs the field from the environment and does not need air. We have to show it's not just the air which the plant takes, it's the energy of the amino acid. And we know what to do with these kind of things. In the Keshe Foundation, in the lab, we have built 5 boxes, which in these 5 boxes, by introducing new enhancement materials, we can leave a plant to be there for years, where it absorbs in totality the amino acid of its life. And then it goes through the next step. In so many ways, we have to start looking at everything in a new ways, in new understanding, because the things we thought they don't exist, the thing we thought they are not part of it. With a new technology, there's a new need for new dimensions of the technology and knowledge. How do we tell to the NASA people that we give you a place that you have all your things, but you don't need any more bags to dispose in space? I think that'll be the biggest fun for them. But the most important thing for us to understand is the process. The process of the conversion of the fields to the need of the man. And this knowledge is part of the universal knowledge. We haven't seen any UFOs that they land on Earth and the herd of ships comes out of them, they graze and they go back in and they go for the next station, they have food on them. And out of nowhere, you have a big herd coming out, grazing on Earth for whatever. Is our grass their level, to their taste, or do they graze to get some energy and they go out? We haven't seen this. So herding and growing animals does not exist in the world of the universe. And now we have to mature to it. And the process of that maturity comes out of peace when we trust and we can go to the next step. And we are building to that position that, as we said, the governments are all looking for new technologies and suddenly changing everything to understand from the matter to energy will create new herd of scientists, new batch of everything to be energy. Man will be in moon in no time and across the universe in a faster way. Do we need to kill that we absorb energies? This is the beauty of the new technology. And the thing is, it's not a dream. The machine in front of you is the deliverer of that technology. You go in it, you stand in it, you take the energy you want, and you give the energy you don't want. You walk out without hunger. You walk out without pain. You walk out without any bits which you don't want to be, and you walk out with elevation of your emotion. That does not create the same condition again. And more advanced version of this will be delivered in coming time. Sorry, I got disconnected. My line broke. This is the reality we have to face and bring other scientists to see. And by the opening of the Keshe Foundation television, we can visually put these things, people can see it and they can do it. We show the cup of life. Millions made it. Millions used it. The structure of the, what we call the universal stacker, the man system, as I call it, the vertical or horizontal system, 5 cups. In there is a secret of elevation of the soul of the man. It's not just that. In that structure of the system, which is being with you, the 5 cups, partially and in totality, it completes the whole whatever man needs if you understand how to combine it. In so many ways, the energy what life needs on Earth, you create the gravitational magnetic field of the Earth, which is the condition you're going to be, and then you have the soul of the man. And you have the soul of physicality of the man. You want to be the soul of physicality, you find the interaction between the two in common denominator energy fields. And one feeds the other, and it shows how I want you to look in my dimension. You create the gravitational magnetic field of the planet in the universe, and then this is the soul of the man which cannot change. This is the soul of the physicality of the man which can adopt, and then you will see how you look. These are the facts that we have to share, and when we can show it physically, man will believe, because he delivers and lives through the sight of the man. In so many ways, what do you think when you walk into NASA and say we would like to enter the competition? They call you a lunatic, or they run away. If we accept this, NASA is done. As I said to the Americans in my negotiation and the Israelis, very simple. We bring the technology into Arizona, and collectively with the Iranian scientists work together with the rest of the humanity to develop it to a new level. Sharing of the technology is the best thing we can do to guarantee peace, when there is no fear of superiority, no fear of anything else. As I explained many times before, and then last week to the diplomats, your fear of Iran is because we have more advanced technology than you have. But we are prepared to share in exchange for peace. And my Iranian team and the people who work for the same process in Iran have come to accept that there is a way. We have to do. Political situation forces us to that position, and the what we call the economical situation forces us to the next step. And you knowledge seekers are the messengers of peace. Share it with your governments. Bring them on the television. Now you have a place where you can talk freely. Cover it, everything under the news. Don't come up as a new technology. Just cover it, all the news, and let news be. Your news section could be half an hour, where you can explain, and by bringing people to elevate the knowledge of the others, where man does not need to enter a competition to have food in a space, where the food becomes the right of the man on anywhere on the earth or in space, understanding the transfer of energy and understanding of the totality. We are around about our break time. Would you like to enter that we see more expansion in the knowledge, or are there any questions with it that we can answer after the break?
Okay, so you're saying we'll take a break now? Is that?
If you like to do so, yes.
Okay. I did have that one short video about the lemon tree that was doing so well from a simple one spraying of GANs. But we could
Can
see
you
that
show it? Would you like to show it now, where we are with the food of the man?
Might be appropriate while you're talking about the fields and how they interact and so on. So sure, let me, it's a quick one, so. So this is from Lee, who showed it in the, I showed it in the Keshe plasma reactor group from her. And this is the lemon tree that's growing on her neighbor's property, but is growing better on her side of the fence than the other side of the fence, since she sprayed it once with some Gans water from the 1 Cup 1 Life, the rinsed Gans water. And she just sprayed it, you know, like a bottle onto the tree once. And this is the video of the result. There's lemons on this side, but not on the neighbor's side. Okay, that's it.
That is very nice. But you got to realize, when you do these things with plants, your GANs water should carry the amino acid, not just the GANs. When you use CH3 or CO2, the GANs water should carry the amino acid of it that interacts with the plant, and you see better results. Most of the knowledge seekers, which they use the ganses for plants and other things, they don't see such a beautiful result, is because when you wash your ganses to get the salt out, you wash the amino acid out. Always collect the amino acid on the top, keep it separate. And then when you wash your ganses, when there's no salt in it, add it to it if you want to use it. Because that amino acid is a connection, is the link. It's like having 2 telephones, but don't have the telephone number. Don't have, you understand?
That's a good analogy. I like
this
that.
is, the gas is one telephone and the plant is the other, but there's no number to contact. You need to. This is what we keep on adding to the knowledge and adding to the strength of the knowledge. I share with you what you will see very soon, and this is what, for example, we are offering. It's on offer today on the what we call the shop of the Keshe Foundation. This works the same way. I explained to you why now that you're on it. This is the new cotton made t-shirt from the enhancement of the seed from the birth to the completion of the cotton. In this, the amino acid which the cotton absorbs from the atmosphere, adding the amino acid to the gans at the point of the growth when we seeded it, will carry the amino acid which connects to the body of the man. Is inherited in the structure of it. We don't need to wash it. We don't need to add to it. Because we introduced the amino acid and the structure of it at the point of inception. When you wear this t-shirt, which is to be marketed end of this year, but we are selling it in advance, we know we'll sell out very soon, is that the t-shirt is in tune with your emotion, in with your needs. I want to feel cold. I want to feel warm. Isn't it the way the sheep and the animals do so. They carry that emotion through the fields of their cell and to the what we call the hair on their body. Now we understand the technology. In a way, the hair of a sheep, being in a Gansa state that it is tuned to the emotion and the feeling of that. Does not need to be that thick. That's why the fatness you see on the skin of the sheep, that fat is not just that, it's a connection of the line with the emotion of the animal outside and inside. Now we understand the knowledge. And this new products, the way it will come will be that way. Where we build into the essence of the creation of the protein of the plant, the emotion of the plant, and in conjunction with it, as in line with the amino acid of the man, the beauty of the t-shirt, the beauty of the feeling. The people who have made other items from this material last year, they tell you about the blankets, how it feels. So you will see a lot of new products from the Keshe Foundation, which in essence are built to bring comfort to the plant and to the man, but all already connected from. A fertilizer, just feed it. A plant which grown with GANs, it satisfies the emotion. We know this. If you go back to the report of the Keshe Foundation test trials in Inner Mongolia, when we tested it, as we have reported many times, we have seen that the wheat protein has increased to the maximum ever known, 20 grams. Why? Because it means every emotion is satisfied. The plant has taken everything it needs from its environment in the level of being able to transfer as amino acid. Protein, why does the plant hold protein? Why does the grain hold protein? Because it transfers that part to the body of the man when you consume it. And now it carries the full spectrum of. Now we do the same with the seed of the cotton. When you wear the t-shirt, when you use the product created this way, you have the emotion of it. It works with you because it's made out of the same protein as you are made of. The plant is happy, has collected the spectrum. You become happy when you wear it because now it's connected to you like as it is with the animal. Now we understand the knowledge in a deeper way and a simpler way. We have commissioned about 40 tons of this material that we developed the way we wanted. We have a full control over it. Our Chinese team has seen and will see all the way through it. And in that process, for the first time, you have a true plasma, what we call clothing, where no fertilizer is used, no herbicide is used, when the structure of the plant has the emotion of the satisfaction and the feel, and that is passed on to you, and your clothes become part of you. It's not something outside. It has an amino acid at the full spectrum of the man's amino acid strength. In a way, the t-shirt lives with you, breathes with you, carries your emotion. The point comes when somebody touches the t-shirt, would they feel the happiness in you? Or does it need to touch you with the skin to get the same impression and expression? This is the evolution in science. And in time, we'll see more and more. We always led, and the knowledge gets followed, but they expanded on the knowledge. And as you see, the t-shirt is in the nature, as it should be. As many of you know, you never walk wash a wool cloth. You're always hanging outside, it cleanses itself. Those who wear the wool clothing have no understanding of it, because the natural wood will clean itself in the atmosphere of the environment. It's a live entity in the direction of the soul. And this is what you will see more of. This is what we have to do more of. But do we need to do this, or do we learn to change our manifestation of the visual by the essence of the soul, that we don't need to destroy a plant to cover ourselves? Men of universe do not turn up on earth with helmets and jackets and the coats. You have always seen them naked, because they adapt to the situation and the condition and the presence of the, what we call manifestation. Gradually we understand more and more. We haven't seen any man from the space coming out of the UFOs with the suit and tie and the shoes.
Mamy koniec tłumaczenia tego warsztatu. Znaczy części tej pierwszej tego warsztatu. I ktoś chciałby coś dodać, to zapraszam.
Dobry wieczór. Halo, czy ktoś mnie w ogóle słyszy?
Tak, słychać.
Aha, może bym musiała jeszcze przemyśleć i obejrzeć jeszcze raz, ale ten teaching bardzo mnie zaniepokoił. Szczególnie jeśli była mowa o tej jednostce, jak ona pionowa, tak? Jest tam mowa o dodawaniu energii, co jest w ogóle wspaniałe, ale jest też mowa o zabieraniu energii. I jeśli nie znamy tego urządzenia w 100%, no bo go nie znamy, tylko polegamy na słowach pana Keshe, to we mnie wzbudza to wielkie zaniepokojenie. I no musiałabym nad tym pomyśleć, ale może i wy się nad tym zastanowicie. To jest pierwsza kwestia, a druga kwestia, która mnie niepokoi, to jest ta koszulka, na której są nadrukowane kółeczka w kształcie, kiedyś to widziałam w sanskrytach, w kształcie czakr. I ona też tam oddziałuje energetycznie. I to też, jeśli nie znamy tego do końca, to też może być niepokojące. Ale też może nie mam racji, to są moje odczucia. Tylko moje odczucia do waszego przemyślenia. No i to wszystko. Pozdrawiam wszystkich.
Dzięki, dziękuję. Na dzisiaj skończymy, także dziękuję za przybycie, dzięki za obejrzenie. Zapraszam na niedzielę, dokończymy ten warsztat. Na dzisiaj koniec. Tak więc dobrej nocy, do usłyszenia. Dziękuję za przetłumaczenie.
It's time for change.
Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata.
And it's time to
I
understand
nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii,
to reach
by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka.
of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe
Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator
Creator has sent his messengers
wysłał swoich
whatever
posłańców
you have
w imię tego, co miałeś.
is that
To
they
oni przynoszą
bring
uszy,
the ears, that it can be
aby
used
można było ich
when the
użyć,
time of the
gdy
Messiah
nadejdzie czas
comes.
Mesjasza.
They can teach the soul and the
Mogę
message
nauczyć duszę i przesłanie,
to oppose.
nie by się przeciwstawiać,
By them
ale poprzez ich
understanding
zrozumienie
through those who have
przez
become
tych,
messiahs,
którzy stali się
from their
Mesjaszami,
souls to these
aby
two
dawać ze
beings.
swoich dusz, aby ich elewować.
The job is made.
Zadanie stało się łatwe.
The school is there.
Szkoła
The
jest tutaj
students
i
are
uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu.
there. There won't be any
Wtedy nie
fight
będzie żadnej
between
walki
what they call the
między
Muslim
tym, co
and
nazywają
Christians.
muzułmanami a
The
chrześcijanami.
lamb and the lion
Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe.
the Christians and the
Chrześcijanie i
Muslims
muzułmanie
will sleep
będą
and pray
spać
in
i
the
modlić się w
mosque
meczecie,
and the same
w tym samym
church
kościele,
in the name of
w imię
their
ich
souls,
dusz,
not in the
nie w
name
imię
of
religii,
that is used
które są
in
używane do
such
tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów,
for the benefit of
dla korzyści
those
tych,
who are
którzy
the
byli
hyperactive
hiperaktywnymi dziećmi.
children. The time has come.
Nadszedł
The time
czas,
of change is
czas
here.
zmian jest tutaj.
And as I said,
I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem.
if it's your wish
Jeśli
to
pragniesz
see
ujrzeć
this,
pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie.
it's the soul
To dusza
of
świadomości
collective
zbiorowej.
awareness by
Poprzez
giving
dawanie
or
stworzy
creating
tą
that
pozycję
position of
zmiany.
change. No,
Nic innego.
there is no
W duszy
pen
człowieka
in the
nie ma
soul of the
długopisu.
man. And I'm
Jestem
sure
pewien,
once
że
you
po
go
wejściu
into the
do
universe,
społeczności uniwersalnej
you will
nigdy nie
never see
zobaczysz
anything
niczego
written,
zapisanego,
but
ale
the
równowagę
balance of
pól
the
duszy
universe is full of the
egzystencji.
existence. Try to be humble
Staraj
enough
się być na tyle pokornym,
not to become
aby nie
arrogant
stać się
in the
aroganckim w
power
mocy,
that you have understood and
którą
you
zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś.
otherwise you'll fall
Inaczej
in the same
wpadniesz w tą
path
samą
of the
ścieżkę
church.
kościoła i meczetu.
This
To
is
jest to, co
what we
obiecaliśmy
promised.
i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy.
This is what we have delivered. We have to
Musimy
understand
zrozumieć
the operation of the
działanie
soul,
duszy
and we have to
i
understand
musimy
the soul of
zrozumieć,
the man
że
is
dusza
a
człowieka
star
jest gwiazdą
in the
w kosmosie
cosmos
wszechświata.
of the universe. If we
Jeśli
compare
porównamy
the soul of the man
duszę człowieka i tak wielu
and
nas,
many of us,
7
billion
miliardów w jednym zbiorze,
population, Earth is like a galaxy.
Ziemia jest jak galaktyka
So many
z tak
stars.
wieloma gwiazdami.
When we look in the depth of
Kiedy
the
patrzymy w
universe,
głąb
we see
wszechświata,
galaxies with
widzimy
hundreds of
galaktyki z
millions of
setkami
stars.
milionów gwiazd.
So is the
Podobnie
planet
jest z
Earth.
planetą Ziemią.
Carries
Niesie 7
billion
miliardów
beautiful
pięknych
stars
gwiazd,
which are the
które
soul
są
of the
duszą
man.
człowieka.
Carries
Niesie z
with
sobą
it
duszę tak
so
wielu
many
trylionów
trillions
zwierząt,
of
roślin
animals,
i
plants,
wszystkiego innego.
animals.
Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.